Hey there, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching Raw Talks with Boon, a podcast that inspires creatives to make meaningful content and follow their passion. My name is Boon Patnaik, and I'm a wedding photographer and the founder and director of Boon's Photography. In this segment, I'm going to invite many content creators, artists, and famous personalities to know about their process, their journeys, and the lessons they have learned, and the ups and downs in their life. And hopefully, I can make them spill some secrets as well. So, today, for the first episode of Raw Talks with Boon, I have invited Lipsa Panda. Lipsa Panda is a professional anchor with an experience of hosting more than 1,000 live shows and TV shows to her credit. Lipsa is a Rajiv Gandhi Pratibha Pushkar awardee and 2 times Chief Minister Gold Medalist Edge Senior Under Officer NCC. She has hosted the biggest ever fitness festival of India, the Connect Fest. She has hosted the shows for many celebrities event like Disha Patani, Urvashi Rautela and Shunil Sethi. I have been friends with Lipsa since many years. I know she is a friend to kill for and she is a wonderful soul. So let's sit with Lipsa and talk about her process and her life journey. Lipsa, thank you so much for being in this show.
It's an absolute pleasure, Boon, all the time.
So Lipsa Panda is quite a popular name.
Is it? News to me.
So do you know the meaning of your name?
Oh, of course I do. Though it's a very common name here in Odisha, when I travel out of the state, I'm always asked this question, what does your name mean? What does your name mean? So the meaning of my name is desire. Right. So, people end up asking, what do you desire? Yeah, and all of that.
I'm about to ask that.
No, I desire a lot of things. I wish I could say that on camera here. But yes, my name means desire. But I want to tell you something and start the episode by telling you something that no one knows. So my name is not Lipsa Panda only, as you said. My name is Lipsa Rajnandini Panda.
Okay, so that's the hidden part.
Yeah, so the middle name, I don't use it often, all thanks to my dad. He actually understood it was going to be pretty long.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
I know the cons of having a long name.
But yours is Boon Patnaik. Why is it different?
Abhilash Boon Patnaik. But
okay,
Boon
okay.
So, what was your desire to be in life when you were a kid?
I'll be very honest. My only desire as a kid, I was always an attention seeker. मतलब 2 मिनट के लिए अगर किसी का चेहरा, किसी का ध्यान मेरी तरफ नहीं है, so I used to literally cry to get the attention from people. So my whole, desire to become something was to be someone desirable.
Okay.
I know.
But you are.
Yeah. I'm glad I grew up to be something like that. Okay. Jokes apart, I always wanted to serve in the defense forces of India. So that was my desire. That's something I badly wanted in life. That was my dream, my ambition, and everything I had always thought of. So it didn't really work out, but I'm very happy with whatever I'm doing.
So did someone inspire you to be a defense personnel?
There was no person as such, but a character. If you remember, I can only tell you about when I was 4. Right. Like let's say around 1999 or 2000. Okay. That's when there's this daily soap on DD National used to stream.
The Doordarshan era.
Yes, the Doordarshan era. So I wasn't a fan of TV, but there was this particular daily soap called Sara Akash. Right. So उसमें एक ऐसा character था Monica Bedi, Flight Lieutenant Monica Bedi. Yeah. So every time I used to see her in that uniform and like flying heights and all of that, I never wanted something more, something less. Right. All I wanted to be was Flight Lieutenant Lipsa Panda someday. That's it.
So being a 90s kid, everything is very nostalgic. Everything happened in right time.
Yes,
we came in touch of internet when we are just done with our colleges or school.
Yeah, exactly.
It is wonderful.
Yeah, it is. But because these days when I see people, like little kids, toddlers scrolling through iPhones, iPads, they were like, यार बहुत कुछ मिस कर रहे हैं ये लोग लाइफ में. Of course.
We have so much of childhood memories.
My parents literally let me play in the sand and dirt and come home, like filled with mud and all that. That was a different sort of fun, which I think kids are missing out on these days.
So now I want to ask you, how did you choose this career? Like there is a switch between you wanted to be something else and now you are something else, which is good. But How did this happen?
Yeah, of course, it's good. You know, I have been enjoying this profession despite I never thought of doing something like this. So, as destiny had in its own course and its own plan, I think it all started off with me joining NCC.
Okay.
So, I have been the Chief Minister's Gold Medalist for representing
That's good.
state
Lovely.
at Rajpath, Delhi, twice in 2010 and 2012.
Okay.
So, being the best cadet, I actually had to, you know, like collect points, extra points for my state, and to stand tall in the national race.
Good.
So for that, one of the perks of being the best cadet is you get to host your cultural
The cultural
extravaganza,
events,
right? So as Odisha has its own Odissi, the one of the four main classical dance forms.
Right.
So we stood tall. In fact, we did win the gold medal that year.
Okay.
So at Rashtrapati Bhavan, we had to, you know, like perform that for the Rashtrapati and the other, you know, like designated officers and all of that. So there they needed the state best cadet to actually host it for them.
Okay.
So that's when
So
it was my
meant to
first
be.
time. Yeah, it was meant to be. It was just destined that way. So that was the first time I got on the stage.
Right.
As a child, I was an introvert. Boon. I know no one believes I talk so much these days. So बचपन में you know कोई मुझसे एक सवाल पूछ लेता है, दूसरा सवाल पूछ लेता है, तीसरे सवाल तक तो मैं रो ही देती थी. I was like that introvert. मुझसे कोई कुछ पूछो मत, बस दूर से बस देखो, बात करो, आप बात करते जाओ, मुझसे कुछ मत पूछो. I was that sort of a person. But things changed eventually. My first time on stage, and I remember after having hosted it, I ran off stage and I cried, and everyone asked what happened. I was like, I was shit nervous, you know.
But
And then
you
it
made it
happened.
through.
Yeah, it
Okay.
happened. So uske baad se I remember getting commercial offers. I came back, hosted a few more shows. Then I got into it commercially. I got offers from few channels. I hosted some TV shows. Then I joined Red FM as the assistant producer and radio jockey. Worked there for a while. And then I did quit my job, and then I started traveling across India for shows, hosted a lot of shows here in Odisha. I think 1,000 odd shows is what I've hosted offline and online already. So that's quite a catch. Few years into the profession, and I think it has been an amazing experience so far.
Really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So was it difficult to choose this as a career, because this is not mainstream? Like our parents back in 90s, they wanted us to be a doctor or engineer or like any sort of those professions, you know,
Right.
or being a photographer or
See,
anchor,
speaking
you
of
know.
mainstream, it makes two of us,
Yeah.
Boon. So, I think had I been the host to this show, I would have asked you something like that. So, yeah, doing something which isn't mainstream raises a lot of eyebrows. People come up with a lot of questions, and then वो रिश्तेदार जो होते हैं ना, जो हर चीज में बस टांग लड़ाते हैं, they're never at your side, never on your side, never there to support you. So काफी चीजें are fed to your peers or your friends or your family. It does happen because anchoring or emceeing has never been a mainstream career. So now I don't think it's a path which is less often taken. A lot of
many
people are
people are
opting
pursuing
for
it,
it. Yeah. So all thanks to the digital media platform, which is actually extending a lot of opportunities. So yes, it has been very difficult, but I have to thank my parents extremely for that.
They have been very supportive.
Yeah, very supportive. Why? Because every time I have done something, I have made sure that I am the best at it.
Right.
So जिंदगी में कुछ करना है तो बेहतरीन तरीके से करना है, best होना है या तो फिर करना ही नहीं है. That has been my mantra right from my childhood. Every time I promise my parents that आप ये करने दो and I'll make you proud. So starting from winning the state best painter award when I was just in class 7 back in 2007.
You love painting as well.
I love painting. I loved as a child. I hardly get time right now.
Okay.
So you know, I have always made them proud. So they trust me with my instinct that whatever I do, I'm going to excel at it.
Exactly.
So जब मैंने I started taking up anchoring as a career, I'd like to tell you here that when I used to work with Red FM, that's when my dad was diagnosed with last stage pancreatic cancer. And I lost him in a span of few months. So we didn't see that coming. It was too early for us. And all of a sudden, I had to shoulder the entire responsibility of my family. So tab I only wanted something which could, you know, help me earn the bread for my family. And I could also study alongside. I was just 20 years and some months old. So that's when I took up hosting. I used to host a few shows in some leading Odia channels.
Right.
And apart from that, I started hosting live shows. And that's what I love doing the most.
Right.
So bas chalta gaya. Fir I started learning the tactics. I wanted to actually stand out, stand tall and look different
Whatever
from the
you do,
rest.
don't give your best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I started grooming myself a lot. I've never been into, like looking like a diva all the time. That has never been my thing. I was a tomboy, man. I ride bikes. I'm sure you know.
I know the love for your bikes, yeah.
Again, another passion that we both share.
Yeah.
So, मैं tomboyish, always, in hippie look all the time, hoodies, trousers, sneakers. मैं वैसे ही रहती थी. But then, turning into a lady from a tomboyish character and then trying to maintain that look, keeping up with the trend and making sure you look best in the makeup and all of that. It has been quite a task. But I fell in love with it eventually. So I did everything possible to make sure that I shine the brightest. And I think I've managed it up to some extent. So it is all more fun when you're desirable again. So,
I would understand. And it's very tough when your parents are sick or like they go through a very difficult phase. And then you had to take up the responsibility. So how strong you were? Like how mentally strong you were?
Don't you think, Boon, being strong is the only option? I mean, see, a lot of, I get that, yes, I get that a lot. Like, people tell me that you're very strong despite being a girl, you did so much, aapne to itna kiya hai. No, like, I wasn't born strong. Yeah, it's not about being a son or a daughter. Had my brother been the older sibling, I think he would have done the same thing. But yahan pe, I think I'm definitely not a feminist, also not an anti-feminist. So I'd like to say something here. अगर लड़की बड़ी है और वो responsibility ले रही है, so it's not that a big deal. लड़की हो के आप इतना कर रहे हो, doesn't really matter. अगर एक लड़का करता है तो उसको उतना नहीं मिलता है जितना मिलना चाहिए. So it's because it is his responsibility. No, I think a daughter is equally responsible for a responsibility that you inherit from your parents. So I think that's not a big deal. But I get this a lot that आप बहुत ज़्यादा strong हो, you have always been this strong. No one is born with this strength. I think you acquire it as you go on in your life, as you endure the difficult situation and you sustain.
How you fight
exactly. The more you fight, the stronger you become. It all comes with experience. So I think I am, I'm not going to tell you my age. So I am 20 some years old with 60 some years experience. So लोग बहुत बाद में देखते हैं life में.
The maturity level speaks.
Yes. So I think काफी चीजें, and I'm still immature at a lot of things. But yeah, when it comes to handling crisis or staying alone or managing solitude or something, I think I've mastered that art up to quite some extent. Yeah.
How did you manage that particular moment when you heard about your father? Like, were you with him or like you were somewhere else?
I'll be honest. The first time I heard that there's nothing much left, there was still hope. Right. Nothing much left to do about what he's suffering from was I think it was on my birthday. We had been out for his ultrasound. That's when the doctor told me that it doesn't look like we have a lot to do for him. So it was of course a very sad day. For years together, my birthday hasn't ever been the luckiest day or something or the other keeps happening and it ruins the fun and all of that. But it's again okay. So that day it was just that it was my birthday. Later I remember I was shooting for one of the most famous youth shows of our state, Campus Khati. I'm so glad to be your host.
I've seen many of the episodes as well.
Yeah, so I'm sure you have never missed out on my entry. Bike pe hoti thi entry. I so loved it. So yeah, it was that, and I was shooting at Utkal Sangeet Mahavidyalaya. Right. And my brother was out with my father for his regular medications and all of that. So I remember वो set लगा हुआ था, 200-250 लोग आसपास हैं, all students, all set. And we were like in the middle of the shoot when I suddenly get a call. I could feel the vibration. The phone was in my back pocket and I asked my director if we could just take a moment. It was like, yeah, okay. So I took the call and I spoke to my brother, and my brother just called to tell me that the doctors have asked us to get papers or, like official papers or whatever it is signed because there's nothing left we can do for my father. So I remember that moment, my eyes filled with tears, and
I could really feel that. I mean, you were in the middle of a shoot and then you get to hear.
So that is the toughest part of being an artist. So I remember I just looked up, मैंने बोला ठीक है घर लेके आओ, I'm booking a cab for you. So मैंने ऐसे phone वापस पीछे रखा, मैंने ऊपर ऐसे देखा, I tried to soak in all the tears in. And I was like, okay, ready, next shot.
Oh, so did you continue the shoot?
I did. I continued the episode. I finished it and I gave my best. It didn't look like वो episode मैंने 3-4 बार देखा होगा.
Obviously.
Just to make sure that nothing looks different there. So I think I did it. Then I came back. I kept shooting until his last day.
Commitment to work.
Yeah, I think I have always been very much committed towards my work, and so have you been. That makes us great friends. So yeah, for me, work comes first. Unless it's a medical emergency for someone from my family, I don't think there's nothing else which can make me buzz from my work. So extremely committed, and I think commitment and hard work are just those two things which make you who you are.
Exactly.
So yeah, I preach that and I practice that as well.
So Lipsa, as we all are going through a very difficult stage, the COVID-19 situation.
Oh yes, we
So
talk about that
how
a
have been
lot.
this lockdown period treating you? How sane you have been?
I have been losing my sanity every now and then, Boon. I'm sure everyone has been. So yeah, it has been, like a very difficult
Very
as well as
testing
a
time,
I would say it's testing time for my mom mostly because I always travel. I travel almost every day and I keep working a lot. So my mother doesn't get to spend a lot of time with me. She always wishes that आज घर पे रह जाती, आज थोड़ा खा लेती, rest करती.
But
So
it's a
when
good
this
thing, no? You have spent time with them.
no, wait for the main story, I'll tell you. So when this lockdown started, she was like so happy. Now you have to stay home, eat and rest and all of that. 4-5 days into the lockdown, तू कहीं जा नहीं सकती. It's so difficult to handle you at home. She already started wishing that I started traveling. Anyways, jokes apart, it was very difficult for me, Boon, because I used traveling and working as a getaway from certain emotions that I never wanted to face ever since I have been through that ordeal. But then staying home and not really working, which I was addicted to badly, like someone who works from 6 in the morning to dead hours in the night. Very difficult. I'm sure you must be able to relate. So to keep myself sane, I did a lot of music. In fact, I started learning guitar. I started working out. I started photography. I started painting. Started going back.
You started what? Photography?
As in phone pay, of course, not like you. Oh, मैं किसके सामने क्या बोल रही हूँ?
Okay.
So it was like the phone photography, and I'm not sure if I should call it a mistake, but I bought my dream phone, iPhone 11 Pro Max. So मुझे लगा कि उसका थोड़ा सा फायदा उठा लेते हैं, photography कर लेते हैं. Well, I'm clicking, not like you. Oh my god.
I've seen the most wonderful sunset pictures of
Oh wow, I'm so glad you consider them good. You call them wonderful. हो गया मेरा. So yeah, I used to click sunsets every day. There was this lockdown sunset contest going on, and I did encourage a lot of other people to start clicking sunsets as well. So definitely
something that keeps you busy.
Yeah, जब हमको पता नहीं है कब लॉकडाउन खुलने वाला है, कब चीजें नॉर्मल हो रही है, but then we have one thing to look forward to, sunsets. आज उठना है, sunset click करना है. So that keeps you.
But what I feel is like after the lockdown has begun, the sunsets are beautiful. You know?
Oh yes, I have never
I've
seen
never
the
seen,
sky to be so beautiful. The sunsets and the post-sunset hues. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's wonderful. The wonderful skies around Bhubaneswar.
Yeah, तो फिर it has never been this beautiful, or probably we have been too busy to notice. I think that's one good thing the lockdown has done. Yes.
All right. So now moving on to a part where we are going to talk about the competition and the jealousy you get in this profession. I'm sure, like, I mean, it happens with me, like in photography, in this profession as well.
Yeah, I think like as long as you have constructive criticism, it's really healthy. Having great competitors, yes, of course, I do support that big time. Like अगर कोई बोलने वाला है नहीं कि where I'm going wrong, where I'm lacking, then there's no fun in the business. But then there is a point where you actually come across things which are not so nice and definitely not constructive in any possible way, and then which actually pushes you off the edge or the cliff. That's when it starts getting difficult. I did value others' opinion a lot as I started off in this profession. I didn't really know how filthy it was going to get at a point of time, or maybe you can call me not emotionally strong enough to be handling such things. So I've come across a lot of things which were very disturbing. फिर आदत होता गया, like negativity dodge करने का एक art होता है जो आपको with time. Yeah, used to it as in you know how to make peace with it and royally ignore things. So royally ignoring is more my thing right now.
लोग तो बोलते ही रहेंगे.
हाँ, that's the part of job. I think वो बोलते रहें तब तक आपको पता है कि आप सही कर रहे हो. जब बोलना बंद गया तो like कुछ गलत तो नहीं कर रही हूँ मैं. So it has become like that.
So what is the biggest rumor that has been spread about it?
Oh, there have been many, Boon. I'm so glad you asked this question. There have been absolutely a lot of rumors. तो कभी-कभी मैं घर पे बैठ के सुनती हूँ like हैं सही में घर बैठे बैठे मेरी शादी 3 बार हो गई है.
Don't tell me that.
No, I'm serious. Someone just like blows up. तुरंत एक टेक्स्ट आता है like, are you getting engaged to this person and you didn't tell me? I was like, what is happening? ऐसा क्या हो रहा है? तो फिर 3 अलग अलग लड़कों के नाम, leading names in the industry. And I was like, ऐसा कैसे हो रहा है? मेरी शादी किसी से हो रही हो मुझे पता भी नहीं है. ऐसे हद तक. I think the height was, in fact, it was the heights, and I came across this thing from a very trusted source, as we call it. Okay. So the news was that I am a lesbian.
What?
Oh yeah. So it broke me, it shook me, it came to me as a shock and surprise both.
Okay.
Because let me tell you that I'm very much straight, Boon. So I'm not sure what I should do to prove it. I was a lesbian because I am not very active on social networking sites, as in for personal interaction and all of that. So you wouldn't really find me very interactive. So I don't go out with a lot of random guys or random dates and all of that. एक तो time मिलता नहीं है. Secondly, I don't pursue that interest much.
Right.
So
my point is like there is no point of being a lesbian, right? But there is no point of spreading rumor about a straight person.
it's not a big deal. Right. It's not a big deal. And also no one gets to talk about my sexual orientation. Even if I'm straight, I'm gay. No one has to. Right. Most importantly, इतना time आप लाते कहाँ से? Exactly. So I think it took me quite some time to got that thing down, and I was like, हाँ ठीक है अगर बोलते हैं. I remember having broken down into tears. Yeah, where it hurts the most. Exactly. So it took me quite some time. I remember having cried, having broken down, and then my mother telling me, even if you're lesbian, what's the big deal? क्या है फिर? And that particular attitude that my mother instilled in me, I think that helped me evolve. Right. Like, है तो है, क्या है? And then I understood if people are talking about you, good or bad, it's because they got time to. Right. It's because you're worth it. So I think, bring it on.
So, Lipsa, how do you fight negativity? Like speaking about all these rumors and everything, then how do you fight negativity?
It might come to you as a surprise or something, but I fight negativity by.
आपके wildest dream में भी आपने ये सोचा नहीं होगा कि like you will be called a lesbian or something like.
पहला तो ये करियर नहीं सोचा था.
Right.
सेकेंडली ये हेल्दी अनहेल्दी कंपटीशन जो भी है इसका नहीं सोचा था. हाँ. तीसरा तो इतने जॉबलेस लोग हैं जो कि ये सब डिस्कस करते हैं, ये नहीं सोचा था.
कंकड़ा प्रकृति लोग.
Yeah, exactly. More or less.
Someone goes up like the
more or less.
Pull them
yes,
down.
I don't remember having spent 1 hour of my life talking about some unproductive things that a person is doing. I rather stop by and appreciate strangers for their good looks, their good behavior. Right. If someone is compassionate, I make sure that I just step back, I hold myself for a while, and I appreciate them. Right. See, it has never done a little
no
good in you.
Yours,
Exactly, it has never done any harm.
Someone is doing a good work, someone looks good, then go and appreciate.
बोल दो यार, उसमें पैसे नहीं लगते. It makes someone happy, it makes someone's day, then why not? You have that superpower. So fighting negativity became very easy when I stopped caring. Right. So I understood कि मुझे कुछ तो इससे बेहतरीन करना है, इससे बेहतर करना है, ताकि ये negativity जो है, it doesn't consume me. So what I did was I started bettering myself. All right. One bad thing I hear about myself, I take my work a notch higher. Right. I work on myself. Either it has to be look, or the way I behave, or my work, or my content, or the kind of shows I did. Right. So I think with time I started stepping up, and I think in less than 2 years I think I've traveled a lot of places. I've traveled across India, and I've done shows that no one has ever dreamed of. Right. So very less have dreamed of.
So speaking about this rumors, there has to be an ethical way to get works. काम सबको मिलना चाहिए, right?
Of course.
But ऐसा नहीं कि like you speak bad about someone else and like you. So there was a photographer from here, Bhubaneswar only. Mm-hmm. So we had this jewelry shoot of a very known brand here. So this person goes to that jewelry person, for a meeting. Like they call multiple photographers, right?
Okay, yeah, of course.
So, but that job was about to be signed by me. So, but then this photographer goes.
नाक के नीचे से किसी ने कुछ इधर-उधर का बोल के ले लिया.
उनके पास ये कैमरा नहीं है, ये लेंस नहीं है, ये लाइट नहीं है. I was like.
Okay. And he was assigned the job. That's what you're telling.
Yeah, he got the job.
I can totally relate to it.
But there has to be an ethical way. That's my point.
Yeah, see, the problem is, Boon, in our industry, as far as I think and I understand, there is no particular rule book that we run by. So, देखो, काम मांगना, काम के लिए approach करना, talking to someone and making sure that you find some work is not unethical at all.
No.
But we have to understand, किसी के बारे में बुरा बोल के हम खुद को अच्छा prove नहीं कर सकते. Your work speaks. If Boon Patnaik is Boon Patnaik, it's because of his work. चलो आप किसी के साथ थोड़ा प्यार से बात करके you bag an assignment, but at the end of the day it's you who's going to work
good,
yeah,
then
so that's how it is. I might be very friendly to you and that's how you get me an assignment that you're working on. Probably I get a work, I understand, but perform तो मुझे ही करना है ना, and I am the one who makes sure that the client is really happy with my performance. So talking bad about someone isn't what is going to make you the best at what you're doing. I think it's your work. So I think ये negativity पे ज़्यादा time spend नहीं करके you should spend more time on yourself, because Boon, I have heard you saying that. I have heard a lot of people who are very close to me saying that I have groomed myself a lot. It consumes a lot of time, Boon. Everyone has to understand कि अगर हम ये constructive way में अपना energy जो है channelize करें, अपना time यहाँ पे दे, थोड़ा research करें, work on ourselves, it's going to work wonders.
There is no limitation of there is no limitation of learning, there is no a particular subject कि इसी पे ही काम करना है. We can work on ourselves.
Always.
So moving on. So tell us about the biggest fitness event that you have anchored in Mumbai.
Right. I love talking about that particular show, but उससे पहले मैं आपको बता दूँ that I have been a fitness freak for quite a while. I mean, I still am.
That shows.
Not really. I have inherited my figure from my mom. I mean, she's slimmer than me. Every morning I wake up and I see my mom. Shit, man, gym jana chahiye mujhe. She's slimmer than me. She weighs around 52, 53 kgs only. I'm heavier than her. So she gives me fitness goals all the time. So she doesn't have to work out, and I'm blessed with a good metabolism as well. So it helps. So when I started getting into fitness and all of that, I understood how much fun it is. So one day I get a call. It was through a reference for an event that I had hosted in Bombay for Mood Indigo, IIT Bombay. So I got a call saying that they have selected my profile for the fitness, the India's biggest fitness concert, which was which was supposed to be at Goa. And Connect Fest.
Dream place to be.
Of course, South Goa, Boon. I have been always a Goa person. I mean, probably I haven't been there enough times to get over my Goa fever. So it was in South Goa where there was, like TNA, bodybuilding competition, kickboxings, and then there was this experience zone where little big things were happening where there were like giveaways given to the participants and all of that. Then there was experience zone where speakers from all over the world and fitness enthusiasts were coming over to address, and most importantly the spotlight was on our superstar of yesteryears, Mr. Sunil Shetty. He was there on the final day. I was like, wow, this is a dream come true. So in the serenity of South Goa, the biggest fitness event in India ever, and I was official host to it. And the best part is कि वो खत्म होने के 2 दिन बाद I get another mail that Lipsa, we are not doing Connect 2.0 without you. Save your dates, which is supposed to be December 12th and 13th this year.
The upcoming December?
Yeah, I hope the pandemic के जो भी regulations हैं वो थोड़ा अगर recede कर जाएं तब तक, then maybe we'll make it this year as well. Yeah, it was huge.
Wonderful. So your travel destination is Goa, right?
Yeah, getaway. मैं एक बार I remember मैं घर से गुस्सा होके निकल तो गई थी. I reached airport and then I decided where do I go. For 2 good days I was really mad at my family, and I was like, thankfully I used to earn good enough to buy buy tickets for Goa, and I just left for 2 days. I did, and I had a great time.
It was a solo trip.
First ever.
That's good. Wonderful. All right. So this question is like the most asked questions to you probably. So are you single or committed?
So the question is, who asks me these questions? Yeah, I am very much single. Boon, have you ever picturized or dreamt of a fairy tale relationship where everything goes perfect, you look amazing with your partner and things like that?
Yeah, imagination is there, but I know in reality that's not possible.
Trust me, I have been there, done that. I have been there in a fairy tale relationship and all of that. And then before long I realized I'm not a relationship person. I'm a free spirit, and I think it works when I am at my best and when alone. I enjoy solitude more. So Yeah, been there, done that, very much single now. Just not available.
So was it a problem like in your work-life balance or something?
No, it wasn't really that. I think, I have always managed to balance my family affairs, my work, and my relationship really great.
Right.
I have given my best possible to my relationship. I was extremely dedicated. But then एक point ऐसा आता है जब आप समझते हो you're better off alone.
Right.
And I respect, my family's choice, and it goes two ways.
Right.
So I'm quite very at peace right now.
But there must be some moments or some times when you feel like you need somebody to talk to, or like
I do.
the
Big
need
time.
of a partner.
Yeah, because since I'm the only one taking care of my family, बहुत चीजें ऐसी होती है जो मैं घर जाके
Share
वापस
नहीं कर
उनके साथ
सकते.
शेयर नहीं
Exactly.
कर, because अगर मैं स्ट्रेस में हूँ मैं उनको वो स्ट्रेस नहीं दे
नहीं दे
सकती.
सकते, हाँ.
So the need of having someone around to talk to or even share things, it's very important. But as luck would have it, maybe eventually I'll end up having someone. If not, I'm blessed with an amazing band of friends who are
That's
more like
wonderful.
family to
That's
me.
wonderful. Yeah.
So yeah, कमी नहीं लगती कभी भी. Never.
So I know you told us that you are not a relationship person, but I'll ask you this. In this love आजकल relationship, this love आजकल era, what would you suggest to the relationship, the perfect relationship?
What's up with this relationship thing? एक तो बोल दिया single हो, you're boon. अच्छा, okay. See, when it comes to relationship advice, I'm definitely not the one to come to. But still, I think मेरा प्यार बहुत old school है. My idea of love and relationship is very much old school.
So do you believe like people still want old school love?
I'm
Or
not
like
sure
the
if
situation
you
has
if you
changed?
find someone who actually wants old school love, come to me and let me know who he is. So my love is very much old school, more like love letters and like long walks than drives, getting wet in the rain and all of that. So I think loyalty comes first. If you really want someone with you,
That
give
top
it your
list,
all.
yeah.
And I think that's something you should also find in return. Transparency is one thing and loyalty is something which is the basic of any relationship. Once you have it, I think you have won it halfway. So yes.
Speaking of love, but you have this love for bikes that's quite pure.
Now
I know
you're
that.
talking, yeah.
I know that. So which bike do you own, or like which is your dream bike?
The one I own is not worth mentioning, but it has
Okay.
been my companion for years now.
Right.
So yeah, so I intend to have an off-roader from the family of Royal Enfield.
Right.
So I'm going to own it very soon. The moment I own it, it'll
I
be
love
all over
Royal
the internet.
Enfields.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we go on a ride together. Yeah. That's nice.
Done. So the next is, this is from the photography part. I know you started loving photography.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you want to take this to the next level, or like what excites you to click more? Is it only nature, or like you want to get into people as well?
See, Boon, I have always been a nature person. Like nature को समझना, देखना और उससे बहुत चीजें सीखना. I've learned this from my dad.
Right.
I remember him sitting with me in the balcony of our old house back in my hometown in Bhadrak and teaching me what a sunset looks like, what it is supposed to
that's
look like,
sweet.
what energy we draw from a sunset, and I started painting sunsets and all over that. I owe it to him.
Right.
But having understood its importance and how much it means to mankind and all of that, I have been extremely close to nature. But it's very difficult. पता है अगर मेरे हाथ में phone and I want to click something, it's such a tough decision to make. या मैं देखूं, enjoy करूं या click करूं. I forget to click at times.
Right.
So I definitely would like to take it forward. But what
it
I
is the
love
number one stress buster. I mean, especially for me.
It is. It could be the number one for you.
Yeah.
Music comes first for me. Now
Right.
it's photography channeling its way to
Exactly.
number 2 right
Exactly.
now. So but I like clicking my perspective of life. जैसे कि अगर आप मेरी तरफ देखते हो, what you see is probably very different from what the other photographer sees.
Yeah.
So I like clicking my perspective, and now that I'm good at playing with words, I
the
spin
captioning
a
it,
caption in a
Right.
way where people understand
A
my
caption makes
perspective.
a picture perfect.
Yeah,
and it
so
completes the
for
picture.
me, the correlation between the picture and the caption is where my
Right.
game stands. So
Right.
I like doing that.
So
a little
have you
more.
started editing the pictures as well?
A little bit, with the minimal phone software that it has. I'm not
Right.
someone who is a very vibrant person, but I find light in dull pictures and all of
Right.
that. In a very dull picture, I find my own light. I know what clicks me. So
you're improving in that area.
I am working a lot on it. So yes.
So I'm done with the questions. The next one is the rapid fire questions.
So
My favorite
moving on
segment.
to that.
Let's do this.
So Lipsa, let's start with this rapid fire.
Oh yes,
This
you
will-
sound very excited about this rapid fire.
I really am.
Okay.
This is the last segment of our conversation,
do
so we'll make it
this.
fun.
Okay, yeah, let's do this.
All right, you get to switch life for one day with an actress. Who do you want?
It's going to be Angelina Jolie, and I so wanted to star opposite Brad
She
Pitt in
looks
Mr. and
beautiful.
Mrs. Smith. Yeah. उसका क्या मतलब? She looks beautiful, so I can't look. I look थोड़ा less beautiful, but then it's okay. Starring with Brad Pitt is.
Like you have diverted to Brad Pitt. I mean,
हाँ तो यार मेरे फायदे की बात करूँगी ना मैं. I'm going to live a life for one day. Then why not?
she does so many philanthropic work, and like you can talk about that.
See,
you
it's
know?
just for one day. I can talk about Brad Pitt and then we can do the rest later.
Right. Moving on. Number 2. Name a song which reminds you of a relationship.
Oh no. Okay.
Again, back to
There's this. Yeah. क्या क्यों? Okay, so there's this one song that was a mutual favorite of my first ever serious love in my life. So it's a mutual favorite song. So it's also my favorite song. So it is Zara Zara from the movie RHTD.
Rehna Hai Dil Mein, yeah.
I think a lot of people love that song. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
that reminds me of.
Fine. The next one is, what would you choose, vodka or nimbu pani?
Vodka and nimbu pani, what question is that? So I'm not a nimbu pani person, definitely not a vodka person because I don't booze.
Right,
But see, as an artist, I do endorse a lot of brands as such.
yeah.
But then I am not a fan of booze in personal life. But given a choice, I'd probably choose
Nimbu pani in this.
nimbu pani, mojito types, thoda sa mere twist ko leke, yeah. That.
All right. Are you a morning person or a night person?
I'm a night person, very much a night person. People who know me very well, or my friends.
So that's why you click
they-
only sunset pictures. You
Yeah.
don't click sunrise pics.
No, मैं sunrise देख के सोती हूँ, but sunrise
is it?
I'm like, my eyes are too feeble by then कि मैं देख के click करूँ. It's not that. I have, the hues with sunsets is a
Yeah.
different feeling altogether. Also मेरे terrace से sunrise नहीं दिखता, sunrise अच्छे से दिखता है.
So clicking a beautiful ending is better than clicking a
Any day.
good
I believe in
start.
lovely endings. But then it's sunset. It comes again the very next day. So my close friends, they know how it works for me. So सुबह सुबह जब उठते हैं मुझे good night लिख के they start their day and I start my sleeping. So that way.
So next one is, what is your favorite book? Do you read?
I do read and I'm currently on The Winner Stands Alone by Paulo Coelho. So it's one of my favorite reads. That person.
The 11 minutes. Which one you are reading?
Uh,
You must read 11 minutes.
I am going to read that for
Yeah.
sure. I just finished Adultery.
Alright.
I shouldn't be saying that here.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first book and now is The Winner Stands Alone. I think I relate to that book a lot. So
Right.
that's my current read.
Right.
Yeah.
So Netflix or Amazon Prime? We're gonna talk about the series that you are watching.
Oh yes, Netflix all the time.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Lucifer currently.
Okay.
I have
The
seen...
new season has come up, I think.
Oh, it's going to
Is it?
stream
Alright,
August
yeah.
onwards. You should
Okay.
watch that. You're
Right.
going to. It's about the character that Tom Ellis plays in it.
Right.
That for one fine British young man
Yeah.
with this absolute British humor. That character is love. So yeah, I've started watching Netflix or Amazon. I think in this lockdown only. I never
Okay.
found enough time, and
Yeah.
on the go, I prefer taking naps.
I open
rather than
Netflix and I decide what to watch, then I switch it off and then I go to sleep.
Too much work, I tell you. So, ek khatam hota. Ever since Lucifer ended, I didn't know. I was clueless what to watch next. I was so much into Lucifer
Right.
that nothing else seems relatively close.
I saw your birthday cakes.
I had
those
3
were the-
cakes of Lucifer
Right.
with the devil face, and people also call me devil. So they call me little devil. He is the ultimate devil. So works.
All right, the last one, Lipsa. So, yeah, Tinder or Bharat Matrimony? Which one is your favorite right now?
Tinder or Bharat Matrimony? What sort of a question? One is a dating app, one is a marriage app. What do you expect me to do? Are you on Tinder?
I'm asking you.
No. Let me play the host. Now. Are you on Tinder?
We're gonna
Boon,
skip-
the nation wants to
I think
know.
we're gonna skip this
Oh,
question.
no, we are not. I'll tell you. So there's this fun thing I have with this Tinder. I have never been on dating sites, so just for once to explore what Tinder is all about, I installed, and the first 2 matches, they happened to text me and they were like surprised. What is a girl like you doing on Tinder? I was like, what? ऐसा भी होता है कि मैं, they're like, you are not supposed to be on Tinder. I mean, like, look at your profile and all of that.
Oh.
Like, तुमको क्या कमी है जो तुम Tinder पे? मैं like, I wish I could tell you what the truth is. So yeah, it has been very difficult. So जितने भी मेरे दोस्त हैं मैं उनको ढूंढ के I swiped right and they swiped me right again. So all my matches were my friends. And
Just another medium to talk.
it was a
with
fun,
friends.
but then the people who cared about me started calling me up like, why are you on Tinder? You shouldn't be there and all of that. ऐसे गुस्सा करके I took my profile down. And yeah, the funniest part about I've never been on Bharat Matrimony. Why is that even an option? I'm too young to get married. I don't want to think about it.
So that was it, Lipsa. Thank you so much.
Oh my
for
god,
being
we're
in this
done!
show. Yeah, we are
Thank
done.
God. It was fun with you, Boon.
It
but
was really fun. It was
I
really
have to
fun.
congratulate you for starting
so much.
a forum as such, because a photographer, an ace photographer who's known to, like creating memories for amazing people and his clientele. I think it's something nice that you have
I've
come up
been
with.
trying to do this since many years, but
Oh, that's great. That's
yeah,
great.
but thanks to this lockdown,
A lot of people are going to pick this idea from you and start things of their own as well. I might as well.
I didn't
do.
pick it from Karan though.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know, right? If anything, you didn't pick the controversy. That's what I like about you.
So guys, this is Lipsa for you, and we had a wonderful conversation. And please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
Oh yes, guys, do not forget to like, share and subscribe and make sure that this new initiative of Boon goes viral. And if not for my sake, at least for his sake, I've roasted him quite so much. Alright, so don't miss out on all the fun.